The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello 8th standard children. Hope you all are doing good. Hope you enjoyed the Navratri festival also. Are you all really charged up, geared up for the exams? Yes, you have to be charged up, children. Okay, so festivals apart, now it's time to enjoy your exams. So you naturally have to get charged up, geared up, motivated. For different people, they get charged up in different ways. For some, they practice their hobbies. For some, they listen music. For some, they practice gardening, agriculture. Each person has his or her own way of getting charged up. Some read very good books. Some get spiritually inclined. You know, mobiles, when they run out of charge, we just switch it on and it gets charged, right? Similarly, we too have to get charged. That inner energy, that we have to just provoke that energy, that just provide that insight, okay, to our mind. Just give the keys to that. If it is an instrument, just give it a key. It will start working. Similarly, start practicing, start studying well. Okay. Now, I'll just continue with the topic. Last class, I taught you about electrochemical reactions, remember? And now I move on from that. Next topic is about cells. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ battery. Okay, you know, you have seen a battery or a cell. Okay. Now, what are these cells? Cells are the sources of electrical energy. E batteries and E cells and electrical energy. Have you seen those cells or batteries? You might have seen in radios, watches, torches, isn't it? The big batteries. In watches, you might have seen the small ones. Why they install batteries? In computers also, in your own phones, you have batteries. Why? Simply, no. These batteries are the main part of providing the electrical energy to that instrument. How? Because of the chemical reactions that takes place inside the battery. Why? Because there are chemicals inside the battery. Okay? So, because of the presence of chemicals, chemical reactions take place, and because of these reactions, electrical energy is given out. Okay? So, cells are the widely used sources of electrical energy. Cells. Then, electrochemical cells, electrochemical reactions, you already have studied in the last class. You remember the LED bulb glowing and all that? Yes. Electrical energy was also absorbed in electrolysis and electroplating. So now there is a figure. Have a look at this figure. You can see different types of cells. Round ones, then rectangular ones, cylindrical ones. You might have seen all this before. Now what are these cells called? Each cell has a different name. Okay, now next have a look at the table. In that table, they have given 4 types of cells. The first one is dry cell. Okay, the second one is mercury cell. Third one is nickel cadmium cells, and the fourth one is lithium ion cell. Okay. Now, first of all, dry cells. Where are these cells used? In which instruments? Dry cells are used in radios, cameras, clocks and toys. The bigger ones, the bigger cylindrical ones, they are the dry cells. They are used in radios, cameras, clocks and toys. Second one, mercury cell, the round one, small round ones. You all know about this, you might have seen in your own watches. So, these cells are used in watches, calculators and electronic instruments. Now, the third one is nickel cadmium cells. They are used in rechargeable torches and cameras. Nickel cadmium cell, that is the smaller one, smaller cylindrical one. They are used in rechargeable torches and in cameras. Okay. Now the fourth one, you all know this very well, lithium ion cells. They are used in mobile phones and laptops. Okay. So these are the four types of cells. They all are used in different types of instruments. Why? Because they give electrical energy, and with that energy those instruments work. Your computer, your laptop, your mobiles, all these work only because of the presence of battery. If the battery is gone, even the instrument stops functioning, isn't it? So all these are sources from this. Sources പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ cells എന്നാണ് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുക. എവിടെ നിന്നാണോ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത് അതിനെയാണ് source എന്ന് പറയുക. So cells are the sources of electrical energy. So there are four types of cells. You already have seen it in the figure. And where are they used? Already there in the table. So you have to write this table in the file. Now before that, now whatever I am teaching you, you can enter all the notes in the file once your exams are over. You just have to study well, you know the portion, so all this can be done after the exams, okay? Okay, so now below that table there is one more para in your textbook. It is about positive ions and negative ions. Now they have given some positive ions like sodium, calcium, copper, potassium, zinc, and negative ions like chloride, sulfate, carbonate. Why some ions are positive and why some ions are negative? You will study all this in higher classes, that is in 9th standard. You will get a very good idea, deeper knowledge, okay? Sodium, there is only 1 plus above it, but calcium it is 2 plus. Why? The reason you will know in 9th standard, okay? Now below the table they have asked a question, what are the uses of such cells? Are they good? Do they have any merits? Do they have any demerits? Of course yes, there are many merits. Merits varna gunangal. These cells can be recharged, isn't it? Once the charge is over, do we throw the battery off from our mobiles? No, we just recharge it. Torches also we recharge it. So this is one plus point, one merit. And they are cheap also, they are portable, they can be carried from one place to another. And there are some demerits also. What are the demerits? First demerit is that there are chances of leakage in these instruments and it can even explode, isn't it? So I'll come to that later. There is a question in the textbook in letters as I'll discuss it then. Okay. Now after this there is a paragraph about changes, environment friendly changes. Now many changes, chemical changes are there that are man-made, that you know, but there are some changes that occur naturally. So changes are natural as well as man-made, but these man-made changes, it can sometimes be harmful to human beings for the very existence on earth, to our life. Even biological waste, if it goes beyond a limit, it becomes dangerous for us. Factory waste, hospital waste, industrial waste, all these are really harmful, toxic. They release many poisonous gases, isn't it, from the factory? Changes, chemical changes take place. and in that process many harmful gases are released. It is polluting our atmosphere, our earth. Do you think it is good? No. When we throw off some waste, for example, if we throw a battery after its use, is it biodegradable? Will it get decomposed? No. Even after 100 years, that battery will remain like that. It is not biodegradable. It will not be decomposed. The battery will remain like that. It will not get decomposed. It is non-biodegradable. So, they have asked a question, isn't it our duty to protect this earth? Yes, of course it is our duty. We are obliged to protect this earth. How? We can convert the usage of these non-biodegradable substances to biodegradable substances. That is, non-biodegradable harmful substances use we can limit, reduce it, and we can use biodegradable substances to the maximum. So, maximum use must be done of these biodegradable substances. It is in our hands to protect the earth. And they have asked one question, isn't it the objective of science? Of course, science is a very good subject, important subject. It carries a lot of information in it of all the metabolism processes taking place in our body on this earth. Each and every living organism has a very important role, and many reactions take place in those organisms in our own human bodies also. So science has a very important role. As a science teacher, it is my duty to tell you, yes, please stop polluting. Please use biodegradable substances. That is, instead of carrying plastic bags, you can carry jute bags, cloth bags, isn't it? Of course, there are many topics after this. I'll come to that later when I teach you that lesson. As of now, just remember that the goal of science must be to create an environment-friendly earth. Okay, so here this lesson comes to an end. Today I taught you about cells, the 4 types of cells and the instruments where they are used. The merits and the demerits I shall discuss again in this exercise. Now I shall discuss the lattice axis questions. So children, please listen to me carefully, okay? Now the first question in lattice axis is, again I am reminding you, no need of entering this exercise now. After the exams you can enter. The first question is, assess the chemical reactions given below and answer the questions. So the first reaction given is calcium carbonate plus heat gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Calcium carbonate plus heat gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So 2 reactions are given. Question is, assess the chemical reactions given below and answer the questions. So the first sub question is, mention the reactants and products in each case. In the first case, the reactant is calcium carbonate. You know, to the left side of the arrow, this is the only reactant, okay? And the products are calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. You have to write it in full, okay? Calcium oxide and carbon dioxide are the products. In the second reaction, the reactants are calcium oxide and water. Don't write this plus, okay? Calcium oxide and water. What about the product? Calcium hydroxide. This is OH, CaOH twice. Calcium hydroxide. Okay. Now, the second sub question. Which among these is endothermic and which one is exothermic? Endothermic means the one which absorbs heat, takes in the heat. So now we'll have a look at the reactions. Which one is absorbing the heat? Reaction നടക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഏത് reactionലാണ് heat ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് എടുത്തത്? This one, isn't it? So this is endothermic reaction. Calcium carbonate plus heat, it is taking the heat and then products are formed. So here this is endothermic, and here have a look, heat is written in the product side. Product side ലാണ് heat varna. After the reaction, heat is given out. So this is exothermic. Calcium oxide plus water gives calcium hydroxide plus heat. Heat product side lanangil it is exothermic. This one is endothermic because heat is on the reactant side. That is a clue. Reactant side lanangil endothermic, product side lanangil exothermic. Okay. Now I move on to the second question. Some chemical reactions are given below. Identify the energy change involved and write down what type of chemical reactions take place here. First one, burning of a candle. ഒരു candle കത്തുമ്പോൾ ചൂട് പുറത്ത് വരും, പക്ഷേ ഏതാ കൂടുതൽ പുറത്ത് വരുന്നത്? ലൈറ്റ് പോകുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ candle കൊളുത്തി വെക്കുന്നത് എന്ത് ചൂട് കിട്ടാനാ? അല്ല, for the light, isn't it? So maximum energy is in the form of light. So here they have asked you to write the name of the reaction and the energy involved. So the answer will be burning of a candle. You can write photochemical reaction, light energy. First one, burning of a candle, photochemical reaction, light energy. Second one, glowing of a firefly. That is again, you know, photochemical reaction, light energy. Third one, plating a copper ring with gold. ഒരു കോപ്പർ റിംഗ്, കോപ്പർ ഇസ് എ മെറ്റൽ, അതിൻ്റെ മേലെ ഗോൾഡിൻ്റെ പ്ലേറ്റിംഗ് കൊടുക്കാൻ വി നീഡ് വിച്ച് എനർജി? ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ എനർജി. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് ഇലക്ട്രോകെമിക്കൽ റിയാക്ഷൻ, ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ എനർജി. ആൻസർ എന്താ എഴുതുക? ഇലക്ട്രോകെമിക്കൽ റിയാക്ഷൻ, ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ എനർജി. Now the fourth one here is reaction between potassium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. Potassium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. ആസിഡും ആൽക്കലിയും കൂടെ ചേർന്ന സോൾട്ട് ആൻഡ് വാട്ടർ, അത് ന്യൂട്രലൈസേഷൻ ആണ്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് തെർമോകെമിക്കൽ ബ്രാക്കറ്റിൽ എക്സോതെർമിക്, വിച്ച് എനർജി? ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി. സോ നാലാമത്തത് തെർമോകെമിക്കൽ, എക്സോതെർമിക് ആൻഡ് വിച്ച് എനർജി? ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി. ഓക്കെ. നൗ ദ ഫിഫ്ത്ത് വൺ, ബേണിംഗ് ഓഫ് ഫ്യൂവൽസ്. ഫ്യൂവൽ പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു സാധനം കത്തുമ്പോൾ ചൂട് പുറത്ത് വന്നാൽ അതിനെ ഫ്യൂവൽ എന്നാണ് പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ ഫ്യൂവൽ കത്തുമ്പോൾ you might have seen coal, yes, petrol, kerosene, diesel, ഇതെല്ലാം ഫ്യൂവൽസ് ആണ്. ഇതൊന്ന് കത്തുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് എനർജിയാണ് വരിക? ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി. സോ ബേണിംഗ് ഓഫ് ഫ്യൂവൽസിൻ്റെ ആൻസർ ഇസ് തെർമോകെമിക്കൽ. ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി ഇസ് റിലീസ്ഡ്. സോ എക്സോതെർമിക് ആൻഡ് ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി എന്ന് എഴുതണം. തെർമോകെമിക്കൽ ബ്രാക്കറ്റിൽ എക്സോതെർമിക് ആൻഡ് ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി. ഓക്കെ. സോ ദിസ് സെക്കൻഡ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഓൾസോ ഐ ഹാവ് ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ്. Now I move on to the third question. A student tries to plate an iron nail with copper. Draw its arrangement by stating the required materials from the list given below. The list is given below. Okay, what is the list? Silver nitrate, iron nail, copper sulfate, silver rod, copper rod, silver plate, iron sulfate, battery wire, water beaker. So our student, he wishes to plate an iron nail with copper. You remember? This, suppose this is in the book it was iron ring and silver. Similarly, now it is an iron nail and copper. Sorry, the student wish to coat this iron nail with copper. So what will be the arrangement? The student will have to take the answer is, write down the answer. First of all, iron nail, because that has to be plated. So iron nail, then I told you the rod must be copper. So copper rod and copper sulfate solution, then battery, wire and water also. Copper sulfate is in the form of crystals. You have to add water, make it a solution. Okay. So answer endekana? Iron nail, copper rod, copper sulfate, battery, wire, water, beaker. Beaker varna ee glass inde jar. Okay. Next question. List out the instruments that use electrochemical cells. What are the merits and demerits of using such cells? List out the instruments that is there in that table. That table you have to write down. Okay. For example, dry cell use cheyanade edakya? Radios, clocks, watches, toys, alle. Then mercury cell, watches, calculators, instrument. That whole table you have to write it down. Then the merits. What are the merits? Merits, that is ഗുണങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാ? The merit is, first answer, first merit, it can be recharged and reused. Second one, it is cheap. Third, it can be carried anywhere, easy to carry. Okay, so first merit, merits എന്ന് എഴുതുക. എന്നിട്ട് ഫസ്റ്റ് വൺ can be recharged and reused, second cheap, third one easy to carry. Now the demerits പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൻ്റെ ദോഷങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ്? ഫസ്റ്റ് വൺ cannot be recycled. അതിനെ റീസൈക്കിൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. Once gone means you have to just throw it off. Cannot be given for recycling. So demerit cannot be recycled. Second one, chances of leakage, chances of leakage and explosion because of it. Okay. So first demerit is cannot be recycled. Second one, can leak and cause explosion. Clear? So I'll read out the answer of this question again. The use of that instrument, the table you have to enter, those 4 cells and that instruments where it is used. Then merit, I told you first one. What was the first merit? First merit was it can be recharged and reused. Second, it is cheap. Third, it is easy to carry. Then the demerit was it cannot be recycled, and second demerit, it can leak and cause explosion. Okay. Now the third and fourth question is over. Now I move on to the fifth question, that is classify the following into physical changes and chemical changes. The first one is melting of ice. Melting of ice is physical change. Why? Because ice when it melts it turns into water. That water again it can be brought back to ice. So I told you physical temporary aana, it can be reversed. No new substance is formed. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് മൂന്നും ആലോചിച്ചിട്ട് ഫസ്റ്റ് വൺ is physical change. Second one is heating magnesium in water. മാഗ്നീഷ്യത്തിനെ വെള്ളത്തിലിട്ടാൽ can we get that magnesium back? No, it forms magnesium hydroxide. മെറ്റലിനെ വെള്ളത്തിലിട്ടാൽ remember I taught you it forms the corresponding hydroxide, that is alkali. So magnesium വെള്ളത്തിലിട്ടാൽ we get magnesium hydroxide, that is an alkali. It is a new substance formed. We cannot get back the magnesium, so it is a chemical change. Okay. Now, the third one, silver bromide kept exposed to sunlight. When silver bromide is kept exposed to sunlight. When it is exposed to sunlight, you know it undergoes decomposition, bromine gas is released and we get black color, grey colored silver. You have learnt about this. So this is chemical change because a new substance is formed. Silver bromide is yellow, we get black colored silver because of the deposition after the release of bromine, because it absorbs the light energy. Now, change happening to soda water on opening the bottle. One is change happening to soda water on opening its bottle. When the lid is opened, when the bottle is opened, what happens? You can see the fizz. കുറച്ച് carbon dioxide, you know what is soda water, right? Carbon dioxide gas is passed into water, then it becomes soda. So when we open, what happens? Some of the carbon dioxide gas escapes, but what remains inside? Soda. Is it a new substance? No. Change എന്താണ്? ലിഡ് തുറന്നു, ബോട്ടിൽ തുറന്നു. ആ ചേഞ്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് വല്ല പുതിയ സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് ഉണ്ടായോ? സോഡ പോയിട്ട് വല്ല ചായ ആയോ? No. You get soda, same thing is there, no change, so it is a physical change. No new substance is formed. Okay. So it is a physical change. Okay, now the last question. Give an example each for exothermic and endothermic reaction. You can write anything that you know, anything that you wish. For example, exothermic neutralization എഴുതാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ magnesium plus hydrochloric acid that I have taught you, അത് എഴുതാം. Okay, endothermic potassium permanganate ചൂടാക്കുക, that experiment also can be written. But I'll tell you something easier. See, first question, 2 reactions you have already written. So one example each for endo and exo, you can write the same thing. For exothermic, you can write this reaction, that is the second one, and for endothermic, you can write the first one. Okay, so your job is now easier. Okay, you can write anything that you wish, but it must be right. എക്സോതെർമിക്കിൻ്റെ അവിടെ അത് തന്നെ എഴുതണം, ഹീറ്റ് റിലീസ് ആവണത്, എൻഡോതെർമിക്കിൻ്റെ അവിടെ ഹീറ്റ് അബ്സോർബ് ചെയ്യണം. സോ 6th ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ്റെ ആൻസർ, exothermic reaction you can write this reaction, and endothermic this is there in the first question of the exercise. Okay. So here children, the lesson comes to an end, chemical changes. You have understood this lesson very well. If you have any doubts, you can call me again. I remind you that this lesson notes you can enter into the file only after the exams are over. Till then, get charged up just like the batteries in mobiles and laptops. Do your maximum. Time once gone is gone. You are not going to get this time back. So utilize this time effectively, productively for studying. Of course, the whole 24 hours you need not study. You can relax, you can play a bit. But now it's time for studies a bit more, okay? I hope you will all get good marks in all the subjects. Any doubts, you can call me. This is all for now. Bye. Thank you.